Lesson 10-4, triangles. So when we are looking at triangles, the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle must always add up to be 180. So when we're talking about angles, we are talking about the interior angles. So in this case, it would be x plus y plus z always equals 180. So the interior angles of a triangle always add up to equal 180. So let's take a look at this triangle here. We have a triangle, so that means the interior angles have to add up to be 180, but they want you to find the missing angle. So they want you to find this top. So we know that we have 43 plus 119 plus x equal 180. So you want to add your 43 and your 119 together first, and that gives you 162 plus x equals 180. So then you subtract your 162 from both sides, leaving you with x equals 18 degrees. Pause the video to try a few examples. For the first example, we have that the triangle is 25 and 108. So you would add 25 plus 108 plus x. So when we add 108 plus 25, we get 133 plus x equals 180. And so you subtract 133 from both sides, and we get that x equals 47 degrees. The measures of the interior angles of a triangle are 60 and 89. Find the missing angle. So we have 60 plus 89 plus x equal 120. 60 plus 89 is 149. So we subtract 149 from 180, and we get x equals 31. So when we look at triangles, we are able to classify triangles based on the way they look. The first way we're going to look at triangles is based on their angles. So if you have a triangle that looks something like this, which means that all the angles are acute angles, you call it an acute triangle. And just a reminder, an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So all the angles in an acute triangle are less than 90 degrees. You will also have something that looks like this, and this is called a right triangle because it has one right angle in the triangle that is identified with that symbol, and it is 90 degrees. And the last one you will have will be an angle that looks like this. And this is an obtuse triangle, and it's because it has one angle that is greater than 90 degrees, which would be this one. We can also classify triangles by the sides that they have. So if we have something that maybe looks like this, this is called a scalene triangle because none of the sides are congruent. Congruent means that they are the same length. Although it may appear that these two sides look the same, you cannot assume that they are the same unless they identify them as the same, and I will show you what they mean in just a moment. You also will have a triangle that will look something a little bit like this, and two of the sides will have lines on them. Those lines identify those two sides as congruent, meaning that those two sides are the same. So we call this an isosceles triangle. And to remember that it's isosceles, you have two eyes, And so this triangle has two sides that are the same. So eye, isosceles, you have two eyes, so there are two sides that are the same. And the last one you will be something that looks a little bit like this. Sorry, my drawings are not great. But it will identify that all the sides are the same, and this is an equilateral triangle. This means that all the sides of the triangle are equal to each other. They're all congruent. Sometimes on a scalene triangle, you may see one line on one side and two lines and three lines. This identifies that each side is a different length. Pause the video to complete the lesson review. For the first two examples, I want you to identify the type of triangle that is there. And for the second two examples, I want you to identify the missing angle.